Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Southern Philippines, people are known as Malays. Collective name used for these people is Malays. And the spread of Islam in this region took place starting 13th century onward, and it was merchants and Sufis once again from India and Arabia that were instrumental in conversion. A significant difference in this respect is that whereas in other regions of the Islamic world, it was elites from outside those regions who established their kingdoms, regimes. In Southeast Asia, conversion took place from above. That is, some regime, some rulers who were approached by Muslim Sufis and preachers. Once again, same pattern. They converted to Islam, and since the social system was hierarchical, the conversion of those rulers led to the conversion of the masses. So there was large-scale conversion. Once again, peaceful. Once again, Sufism. But it happened from above. Then some men from noble Arab families, Arab nobility, Prophet's family, and royal families from the southern part of Arabia, Yemen, they moved to these areas and they married locally, and that also helped spread Islam. So you can see the contrast with the Middle Eastern land and with India. One result of this continuity, that is, there was no disruption of the political system or the social order. So the political system, social order continued from pre-Islam into Islam. One result of this continuity was that the local native or indigenous elements of cultures, native culture, these elements continued to be present into Islamic times also. And it was mainly the coastal areas where large cities existed that Islam became Islam in an orthodox form, that is to say, became strong. But in the interior parts of these lands, Buddhist and Hindu elements, religious and cultural, continue to be present. And so you have a sort of syncretic religion in these areas. Bali, for example, not typically Islamic. Malay is the major language, and once again, the role of Sufis in this regard is crucial because they made translations of Arabic and Persian Sufi works, and then they wrote original works in this language also. So Malay is the common language spoken in these regions. In Indonesia, it would be called Bahasa Indonesia, that is Indonesian language. In Malaysia, Indonesian Malay language, but it's the same language, basically. So Sufi's role. Colonial period, 16th century onward, Portuguese, they attempted to Christianize society, but they failed in that. Then Dutch and British came over. The Dutch were victorious in Indonesia. The British prevailed over the Dutch in Malaysia. And in 1945, Indonesia won its independence from the Dutch, and Malaysia won its independence from the British in the year 1963. It was called British Malaya until that time. Religious tolerance is practiced in the Malay world. For example, Indonesia, we have 360 ethnic groups and 250 languages, and there are dialects to boot. Because of this immense variety, tolerance becomes a necessity, and that has become part of the culture in the Malay world. Likewise, in Malaysia, about 50% of the population is Muslim, and they are known as Malays. All are Malaysians, but Muslims are called Malays. So about 50%, some say 52%, are Malays or Muslims, About 38% are Chinese, about 12% are people from India, Hindus and Sikhs. And because of the presence of many people from many different origins, you see this culture of tolerance in Malaysia if you live there. I've lived there for 2 years, so I know this firsthand.